flipping yet. So there are 11 units in pre-cal. You probably need to skip the first at least 2 pages, depending on how big your handwriting is. I usually skip 3 just to make sure that there's enough room to finish my table of contents, okay? When it comes to your table of contents, I don't care if you write front or back, that doesn't bother me. So if you want to, do it. If it bothers you, don't do it. Does not matter to me, okay? So this is gonna be topic 1. This is not a page number, it's just topic 1. And then we just said this was composition of functions. So if you hopped on a little later than when we started, what happened? There we go. If you hopped on a little bit later, I just said that we should be done by 9:30. Y'all are gonna get extra credit. And then if you have a question, do me a favor, just go ahead and unmute and ask it, okay? You don't need to put it in the chat. You don't need to wait till the end because I actually have the chat closed on my screen. So if you put anything in there, I can't see it. So just unmute and ask. Sound good? All right, and I'm gonna make y'all talk to me because I'm already bored. This is weird talking to myself. So let's review. Somebody tell me what a function is. Hello? I'm gonna make you participate.
It's an equation that can be like translated into a graph.
Good, Kevin. Okay, so it's an equation. It can be graphed. What else? Kevin, extra credit. Good job. You got 2 points already. There's something specific about it. But I agree, it's an equation we can graph. There's one more thing that's really important for a function. I won't tell y'all. My wait time is fabulous. I'm a very patient person. So we may be up here longer than 9:30. Y'all are at home, you can Google it, right?
Doesn't it need to have a variable?
Yes, it does need to have a variable because it's an equation. Good job, Kevin. 3 points. Anybody else? Y'all gonna let Kevin have all the extra credit? Is that a function?
Does it have to have a start and an ending point?
Gotta have a starting and ending point. Good. So this goes on forever. So that's one reason it's not a function, but also what happens when I draw a vertical line through it?
It can't go through more than once.
Good. Okay, so who just said that? I can't see who's speaking.
Grace.
Grace, thank you, Grace. Extra credit. It can't go through more than once. So a function can only have one output for one input. It is 1 to 1. Do y'all remember learning that?
Yes.
Okay, in like
No.
8th grade? Who's Chris Dinkles? Did you say no?
Yeah.
It's because you didn't have me for math 1. That's okay. All right, so a
True.
function is an equation. I'm going to use y'all's words because they're good. An equation that can be graphed. That was good, Kevin. And has one output for each one input. So it is 1 to 1. All right.
Miss Boom,
Yes.
I can't see the whole thing.
What you mean you can't see the whole thing?
All right, I can see now.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
You welcome.
All right, I'm trying to give y'all time to write. If that wasn't enough, let me know. Holler at me. So when we talk about function composition, y'all are going to define this one too. I'm not giving you a Google definition. I want you guys to come up with a definition so we remember it. So when we compose something, what does that mean? When something is composed.
Isn't it like you create it, like you're the one writing it?
Very good. So think about music. Are any of y'all in band or orchestra or whatever? A composition or a composer is creating the music or making the music, right? So when we compose functions, a composition of functions, it means we are putting different functions together to create something new. Okay? So this is where we apply one function. I'm going to abbreviate to the results of another function. So a lot of times in math, composition means more than one, but you are putting things together to create something new. Very good, Kendall. Extra credit. All right, so if any of you are like me, these words kind of mean nothing. I need a picture. We talked about I was blue yesterday. So a lot of times I need a picture. So we're going to have an X value, or if we don't have X, we'll just use X. If I put X into f of X, then whatever I get, whatever it equals, I then put that into a different function g of X. That is a composition. Are y'all okay with that? I'm guessing we're okay because nobody said anything.
Sure.
Sure. Thank you, Chris Dinkles. I think it was Chris. All right. So let me show you. What did we put in first? What was our first input in this little diagram?
F of X,
Very first. What was before that? What came first?
X.
There you go. This is like me asking you what came first, the chicken or the egg. X came first. Ooh, that thing doesn't work. There we go. Okay. X came first. Now, Grace, what are we putting X into?
F of X,
Good. Screen. And then what are we putting f of X into?
G of X.
Good. Are y'all with me and Grace, the rest of you?
I've been muted the whole time. I was
Hear
talking.
me?
I was talking.
Okay. So we're starting with X, we're putting that into f of X, and then whatever we get for f of X is going into G. This is your notation. Okay? It's not order of operations, so please don't get that confused. You don't start with G, you start with what's on the very inside. X gets put into f of X, and then f of X, whatever we get from there, gets put into G. This is a composition, okay? So what this means is that we input f of X into G of X. Are y'all okay with that? The notes are very short. We're about to do examples. I just need to make sure you're good with this before I move on.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so there's another notation. If you see this one as well, it just means the same thing, okay? That's just another notation. So that is an open circle. So I think it was Drake yesterday. You were like, is that supposed to be a multiplication sign? No, that open circle means composition, which means we're going to do that right there. All right, are we okay?
Yes.
All right, are y'all ready to start examples? Y'all are real quiet.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, if I've already lost you, you got to talk to me and let me know so I can explain it a different way. I'm not one of these teachers that doesn't know how to explain stuff different ways. I got you, but you got to let me help you, okay? All right, so example 1, let's say we're given these two functions. F of x and g of x. And the problem tells you they want you guys to find f of g of x. What do we already notice between these two things?
They're the same.
Be careful.
They're flipped.
Yeah, they are flipped. So I flipped it very first just to show to you guys what these mean, okay? Because it's not always going to look just like this. I could throw in completely different letters. I could throw in A of B of X, okay? So F of G of X, that's how you say it. That literally means F of, and we're putting G of X into it. Okay? So let me ask you guys a question. What did I just say we were putting in? Which one is going into the other one? Which one is in parentheses?
G of x.
Yes. G of X is your input right here. That's the input because it is in the parentheses, okay? So this is my input. So I'm literally taking G of X, this 3x minus 2, and putting it in anywhere I see an X in F of X. So this is going to go in right here for this input. So then that means we have what? Y'all talk to me. What would I write?
Okay, if I get this correctly, it's going to be 5 parentheses 3x minus 2 parentheses plus 1.
Yes, Chris. I told you it wasn't hard.
Mm.
All right, so simplify, because we're trying to simplify it and figure out what the output is. What would we do?
Distribute.
Good. Grace, why'd you say that like a question, girl? I already know from our interactions that you're super smart. So don't second guess yourself, just say it, okay? So that would be 15x minus 10 plus 1, which would give me 15x minus 9. Easy or hard, what do we think?
Kind of easy.
Yeah, not bad, right? I'm gonna keep it high with you. It really doesn't get much harder. Am I good to move on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Example 2. Same thing. I'm giving you two functions, but I'm going to change the letters. So let's do h of x equals 3x squared plus 4x plus 7. Let's do j of x is x plus 1. And we're going to find two different things this time. So first, let's find h of j first. H of j of x. And then let's find j of h of x. So I already threw in the two different notations. I know y'all can't see, I'm sorry. There we go. So you do need to get used to seeing both of these notations because on the exam, it could be either way. And even if we don't have a state exam, even if they decide to waive that, you'll have a teacher-made exam and I will put it either way, okay? All right, so y'all talk to me about number one, or not number one, Lord. Letter A, what's my input? Which one am I inputting into the other function?
J of x.
Good, j of x is the input here, and I'm putting it into h, right? So here's j of x, this x plus 1, anywhere I see an x over here, that is what I'm going to input. So I'm putting x plus 1 here and x plus 1 up here. All right, so that would be 3x plus 1 all squared plus 4. I'm putting in x plus 1 and then plus 7. Are there any questions so far or y'all are good?
I'm good.
Right. All right, so how do we simplify this?
We, the exponential, not the exponent, we distribute the exponent, not distribute.
Be careful. No, you're doing great. I appreciate anytime you guys answer a question up here, you're getting an extra credit tally. So, sorry, I just covered that up so y'all can see. Okay, are we allowed to take this squared in and distribute it?
No.
Why not? You're right, why not?
Because it means to multiply it by itself to square.
Good. Okay, y'all look at this. This is review from Math 1 and Math 2. This is a binomial. The x and the 1 are married. They are together, two terms together. So I need to take those two terms together and multiply it by itself again. So you can't just take the squared in, okay? If you had me or Miss Allred, these two are married. We told you that was a side piece, a home wrecker. You can't do that. So x plus 1 squared literally means x plus 1 times x plus 1, just like this. I know I'm going slow now. For some of you, it will not be this slow all semester. This is just review, getting your mind going on math again. So now when we have two binomials multiplied together, how do I multiply those? There's many different ways, so tell me some.
Foil.
Foil, good. First, outer, inner, last, good. What else can you do? Do y'all remember doing this in Math 1?
Oh, it's a box method.
Good, box, you can do that, or you can call it double distributing, any of those. So x times x is x squared. X times 1 is 1x. So we're done with the first term, right? Then 1 times x is 1x, and 1 times 1 is 1. And we still have the 3 on the outside. And we still have the 4x plus 1 plus 7. All right, so then 1x plus 1x is 2x. And then can I distribute my 3 here and distribute the 4 here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, KJ. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I think some of y'all might have moved ahead of me. Or you're just ignoring me, which is cool too.
Good morning, staff. This is Mr. Cannon. Hope everybody's doing okay this morning. This is a reminder.
All right, so if we
Please
simplify
take
this,
attendance. Today is a big day for us with attendance.
6x and 4x is 10x, and then 3 and 4 and 7 is 14.
Some confusion on attendance. I know it's a tricky situation with us with the virtual and face-to-face. However, I know she sent out a clarifying email. If you have questions about that, she is holding Zooms every period today.
Are y'all okay with that? I'm gonna keep going.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna keep rolling. For B, this is J of H of X. So how can we rewrite this in this form? What would I write?
Okay, thank you.
Wouldn't it just be h of x plus 1?
Wouldn't it just be H of X?
Because
You're moving ahead of me. I want to write it in this form first. You are right. So can we write it in this form first? What goes on the outside?
j.
Okay, good. So this is J of H of X. So what Kendall was saying is we're taking H and we're putting it into J. So if you guys look at this, if we take 3x squared plus 4x plus 7 and put it into J, it's literally just going to be this plus 1. So it's going to be 3x squared plus 4x plus 7 plus 1, which is going to give me 3x squared plus 4x plus 8. Do we feel okay with making a composition and putting one function into the other? Do y'all feel okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's half of your homework right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip. If you have a question, I need you to chime in and ask, okay? All right, so the last thing we can do with compositions for today, we're gonna learn more about them tomorrow, but I'm keeping it short and sweet the first day, is we can also evaluate compositions. So review for Math 1, what does evaluate mean?
Like simplify?
Kind of like simplify, yes. What word do y'all see in evaluate? Or what word?
Value. Value.
Good, Kelly. So value, when we evaluate, we're literally finding the value, all right? So evaluating just means finding a wanted value using a given input. So I should give you an input for all of these. All right, so y'all hang with me. When we're evaluating, there's 3 different examples or problems you could see. You could see evaluating equations, evaluating tables, or evaluating graphs. So I have 3 more examples, 1 of each, and then y'all are good. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because I feel like y'all are okay. We'll start with equations because that's what we've been doing. So if I give you f of x equals x squared minus 1 and g of x equals 3x plus 2, then we're going to find these four things. We're going to find f of g of 2. Then we're going to find g of f of 4. Then we're going to find g of -1 and f of 3. So those of you that don't know me, because I haven't helped you in SOAR or taught you before, I ask you what you notice a lot, because math is all about making observations so that when we're given a word problem, we can make observations and then pull from our memory bank on, okay, what processes can I do to solve this? So what do you guys notice about all of these that's different from the first examples we did?
They have numbers.
Good, there's inputs. There's no X's anymore. I'm giving you a number to input. Very good. So I'm gonna start, I'll do A and then you guys are gonna try B. I'll do C and y'all will try D. How does that sound?
Sure.
Sure, thanks, Chris. All right, so f of g of 2 means I'm taking f and I'm putting g of 2 into it. The second one is your input. So f of g of 2. So what's the first thing I need to do here or find here?
G of 2.
Very good, Grace. Good job. Girl, you got all the extra credit points. All right, g of 2. If I put 2 into g, if you guys put 2 in right here, what numerical value do we get for g?
6.
8.
3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is?
8.
Very good. So we're really trying to find f of 8. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So where do I go substitute 8 in now?
To the F.
Into f. So what's 8 squared?
64.
64 minus 1?
63.
Great.
Extra credit.
Not for saying 63. That's not a hard question to answer, Chris.
I tried.
You did. I appreciate it. Easier or harder than substituting in the equations?
That's easier for me.
Should be easier for everybody. Good. I agree. All right, y'all try B. No one blurt out the answer. We're going to give everybody a minute to try B. So in a minute, I will ask you for the answer, okay?
Good job, Jay.
All right, it has been a minute. What are we getting?
$47.
Very
There we
good.
go.
All right, so you should have found f of 4 first. That's the input. So when we put 4 into f, 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 1 is 15. So really, they're just asking you to find G of 15. 3 times 15 is 45, plus 2 is 47. Very good. Questions on that one? Going once, going twice. All right, we should be good. So now for C, nothing is different. You substitute -1 into G first. So when I put -1 into G, 3 times -1 is -3, plus 2 is -1, right?
Yeah.
So this ends up being just G of -1. Okay, so put -1 back into G. 3 times -1 is -3, plus 2 is -1. That does not always happen. I had a feeling somebody was about to ask that. So I'm going to read your mind. That does not always happen. You will not always end up with the same thing both times.
Okay.
So y'all try D. It should be a lot quicker, so I'm only going to give you 30 seconds. Try D. And in 30 seconds, I'll ask y'all what you got. All right, y'all, what are we getting?
I got 63.
I also
Same.
3. That sounds good. So really quick, f of 3, when you put 3 in, 3 squared is 9, 9 minus 1 is 8. So we're really finding f of 8, and if you substitute in 8, 64 minus 1 is 63.
Ooh.
Are we good with evaluating from equations?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna evaluate from tables. Oh my gosh, I just broke my pen.
Nice.
Freakishly strong. Okay. So this is example 4 from tables. So these are the 2 tables we were given. I'll give y'all time to copy these down. So there's your first table. And there's your second one. So y'all get those tables down. Let me know when you're ready. All right, party people, are we ready?
Sure.
Okay, just want to make sure everybody's had a chance to write it. So for A, we know that this just means f of g of -2, right? So I'm going to write it like this. So what do I need to find first?
G of -2.
Good. So g of -2 is our input, right? So what this means is you go to the table for g. So that would be this one. And you need to find where the input is -2 and what is the output.
5.
So we're really finding f of 5. So now we're going to go to the table for f, look at the input 5. What's my answer?
9.
That's it. Do I need to do another one, or can y'all try B and C? All right.
We can do B and C.
Y'all can do B and C? Okay. I was about to do B because nobody answered me. Y'all try B and C. I'll give you about 40-ish seconds. Oswald, I got you. You're on here. You're good. Thank you for checking though. All right, hopefully you've had enough time. If not, keep going. You can check yours with ours. So g of f of 0. What are we getting for our final answer?
I got 2.
Okay, so did you go, I'm not saying that's right or wrong because I'm gonna be 100% honest. I just wrote down some examples and have not done them yet. So f of 0 is what I should do first. So when f is 0, Chris got 4, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And then you did g of 4.
What? Yeah.
Put 4 into g, I get 1. Are y'all okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, we got to work on our Zoom etiquette because there's only like the same 5 people participating. So I can just do pre-recorded videos if y'all.
It's early in the morning.
That's okay. I mean, it's early for me too.
I'm not a morning person.
Fair enough. All right. For C, you should find g of 9 first. So go to the table for g. When 9 is the input, 2 is the output.